Hello and welcome to On a Grand Scale podcast, where we have real conversations about what it truly takes to scale meaningful work. My name is Uno Nyoni and I'm the founder of Grand Scale. At Grand Scale, we help founder-led organizations to build systems that allow them to grow beyond the founder. The core idea is that many missions don't stall because of lack of passion or funding. They stall because the systems haven't caught up with the vision. So, what is this podcast about? The podcast is about leadership, strategy, finance, governance, the hard decisions behind real growth. And today I'm joined again by Kudzai Mugwanda. We recorded one episode, and I'm telling you, you must watch that one because it tells the full life story that she has. She is the CEO and founder of Kudzai Nails and Beauty, um, a multi-branch beauty and wellness business based in Khayelitsha, Cape Town. She launched this business in 2018 as a side hustle, and now she has over 70 employees and multiple branches around Cape Town. She's reinvested her profits in there, and over the years, over 300 beauty therapists have come through and been trained by her. She's a member of the Entrepreneur Organization Accelerator Program, a graduate and coach of the Cellular Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. She is known for delivering affordable, professional, trend-aligned beauty services at scale, and she is passionate about the empowerment of women. Kudzai, welcome again.
Thank you so much, Una.
All right, let's pick it up from where we left it off, Kudzi. Um, some of the things that I've noticed as I have worked with you over time is that you have a big business, right? Um, but when people meet you and when they see, say, your spending habits, if we are traveling together or what, it looks like you're very, you're not there to impress. You know what I mean? You're not you are very conservative when it comes to cost control and things like that. And I think that is something that is also seen in your business. What is your thinking around that, around spending as an entrepreneur?
Thank you, Una. So I would say I have learned to be frugal in everything that I do, especially having started the business from nothing and realizing that I don't have enough capital to actually achieve what I want. And because the dream is bigger and we are just at the surface of where we need to be, I feel like for now, I need to live at the lowest cost possible so that everything that we make goes back into expanding Kutle Nails and Beauty and making sure that it gets to where it needs to go. That has also translated in how our business operates because we need to keep in mind that every cent that comes in needs to be allocated more for growth. And so we survive on the minimum that we can survive and keep the rest for growth.
Okay, what does that mean when it comes to pressure among peers? Maybe you have other entrepreneurs and they have this glitz and glamour that they walk around with, but they don't even have a quarter of the size of the business that you have. How do you handle that peer pressure?
I would say I'm really blessed to have a spirit that is content. I am content with where I am, and
Mm,
I am never pressured with what other people have. And
mm,
very happy for other people and their achievements and the glitz and the glam that they have. But
mm.
it has never been something that I would like to also say that puts pressure on me. I've never found myself under pressure. And trust me, I have been around people that have this and that. And
Mhm.
at some point, you'll be looking at yourself and feeling like, wow, okay, I'm kind of not where I should be. But then again, you come back and ask yourself, at what cost will me achieving this or buying this and that be, and how will that affect my costs
Business and my
for
vision.
business? Yeah.
100%. And I really think anyone who would try and work with you would have such a great trust because of just how you manage what you do. Now, you are a coach now, right? You've coached quite a number of businesses through the Cellulo entrepreneurship program and in many spaces where people really ask you to be a coach to them.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the mistakes that you see founding entrepreneurs making that you just say, hey, I've learned this the hard way. If they only knew, this would be good for them.
Great question. So the biggest mistake that I've seen a lot of founders doing is being the engine and everything of the business. So if they are not there, nothing moves. And taking on all the responsibilities and holding them so close to their heart that they don't want to share any responsibility. They don't want to open up to the people that they work with so that there's continuity, even if they are not there. So I feel like that's one of the biggest challenges. And also, a lot of business people seem to think that once you have a business, the money, they look at the turnover and they don't look at what is the actual cost of running the business. What is my profit component? Most times people learn the hard way when things just start going the other direction. That's when they start coming down and looking at what is my profit out of this big turnover that I'm making. And also, other people just focus on making sales and they don't actually realize what is the cost of making these sales and how is it affecting my profit. And at the end of the day, they don't actually manage their cash flow and just push to make sales, push to make sales.
But there's
And
no profit.
there's no profit. And sometimes making sales might actually be increasing your costs instead of, and eating into your profit instead of actually just taking time to control what level of sales are profitable. And
Let's
then,
let's take it back a little bit. So you are on point number two. I know that you will have more, but I just want to take you back to where you said many business owners then become the engine. All
yeah,
right.
uh-huh.
What are some of those tips you could give that, that stop or that can help entrepreneurs stop themselves from being the engine? Because there's also a bit of ownership. There's also a bit of, I'm the best at this thing. I do it the best. Other people can't do it the same way that I can do. How do you separate yourself from that?
I'll share how I did it.
Mm, mm,
Mm, so I started trusting other people with responsibilities in the team. I learned the hard way to delegate because I was burning out. And before you start letting go of responsibilities, it's best to build a structure of how everything should flow. And once the
mm,
systems are documented, anyone should be able to step in and know what to do. Be it if it's for me, I've had to let go of the control of the branches. So everything that
mm.
is to do with the branches, my team leaders and my branch managers need to know what happens when we open, what happens when clients come in, how do we allocate responsibilities to the team, and certain things we overlook them and think there's no need to document it because it's an obvious thing, but things are done differently by different people that if you don't set a clear process of this is how things are done, for example, this is the Kuhle way of doing things, you will end up delegating to people and creating multiple businesses within one business, and people experience your brand differently depending on who they are dealing with.
Okay, I like that. So documentation. This is the
Yeah.
Kutle way of doing things. So do you have some kind of documents for yourself also that show the Kutle way over the past years that you've been operating?
Yes, so we've created like a Kutle Nails and Beauty manual that documents everything from hiring, from the treatment processes, from how to handle clients, how to handle complaints. Our HR processes are in there. Our cashing ups policies are in there. Cash
That is
handling
beautiful.
processes. Yeah, so it's quite a lot.
That is wonderful. I love that. And then you mentioned that the cash issue, that
Mm-hmm.
um, sometimes we are expanding and we are improving the sales,
Mm-hmm.
but not we're not being profitable. How do you avoid that? How did you kind of experience that in your business?
So I think learning from experience teaches you quicker and
Hmm.
gives you a slap and that you will always remember before you make the next growth plan to be conscious of the fact that the numbers need to make sense. And
Sure.
so we started growing and making so much sales, and we didn't measure the cost of each sale because for additional sales, it means adding more people, it means adding
Mm,
more locations. Bigger the
mm,
number we're chasing, the bigger the team needs to
mm,
be, the wider
mm.
the locations located across Cape Town had to be. So with each location comes with extra costs, and the bigger the number of therapists comes with an extra cost as well, and your overheads go up. You must buy a new set of tools for each branch. You must buy more products to cover the growing demand. And so I've realized that we needed to plan that growth well. And it also needed to go with some kind of maybe price increase to cater for the difference. And yeah,
Okay. So you were still mentioning some of the mistakes that entrepreneurs make. Which other one or two do you have?
so one other that I learned the hard way as well was mentorship, having someone that you talk to, having someone almost like your board. As a small business, you assume that you don't need to run things by someone else. You don't need to be accountable to anyone because you're the owner. You can make any decision as you go. So mostly, I feel like as small business owners, we tend to neglect having someone to soundboard things with,
Mm,
prioritizing having a mentor, someone that you look up to, someone that grooms you, someone that has walked the journey or is walking the journey but is doing better than where you are. It's important to understand that no matter how clear your vision is to yourself, there's always something, there's blind spots that if you don't actually have someone else to hold you, ask you questions. You know what mentors do mostly is ask you questions. How is the to
mm,
help your business? How
mm,
do you
mm,
think it's
mm,
going to work? What are the costs
mm,
associated
mm,
with that? Those are some of the things that
mm, mm,
a serial entrepreneur like me, when an idea comes, all that glitters is not gold. You just
mm,
and before you know it, you are in stuck with some mistake or yeah, things can be going well, but you'll be piling up responsibilities over and over again.
yeah, yeah. Okay. And how did you navigate finding mentors? How someone wants to ask, how do I do it? Tell us your story about the mentors that you've worked with over the years and how you attracted them or how you asked for them to start mentoring you.
I was fortunate enough to have been a part of the Women at the World Ministries. It's an NGO for women, and the leader of that movement was someone that I was looking up to and sharing my challenges with her. And she pointed me in the right direction, pointed me to someone who is running a business that has multiple locations like me, and theirs was way bigger than mine. And so she indicated that I should speak to Mr. Lubuyohani because he's done so well with cellular technologies. And that was the beginning of how I found so much help because I ended up joining the Cellular Foundation and just being under that opened up to a whole lot of other mentorship opportunities. And yeah, there's just a lot of, and now I have so many people that I look up to in different areas.
Fantastic. So getting that person who looked up out for you was key to then be connected to the mentor who also introduced you to a new world of entrepreneurship where you could learn.
I would say being vulnerable helped because
Ah,
sometimes
ah,
it
ah.
looks like
Tell us more
things,
about that.
yeah. Sometimes you want to look like everything is fine because
Right.
doesn't matter what I'm going through as long as people see
Mm,
me. When people see
mm,
me, they think that, oh, everything's working well and
yeah.
millions. And so just being humble enough to say, I need help. I'm struggling with A, B, C, and not wanting to always look like you've got it all together. And
Yeah.
just finding a safe space where you can open up. That is what I feel would be a place where you can get the right direction and
Tools.
can be a mentor.
Okay. Okay. So opening up, being vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
saying it like it is.
Yeah.
So could I also notice that faith is a big part of what you do?
Mm-hmm.
That but and I just wonder, because I follow your statuses on WhatsApp. I just wonder how do you bring your faith world into your business world?
So this is a very interesting question, mainly because just this afternoon I was sharing with my team the direction that I want to take. I really want to bring my faith into the business, into the day-to-day running of the business,
Hmm.
mainly because I feel that everything that I have, I seek guidance from God. And before I make a decision, I need to also check in with, is it aligning with God's purpose for my life? What is his plan ultimately? And it's it's making it difficult for me to run my business without involving God because in the
Mm,
beginning I feel like if I do it by myself, I am going to
mm,
miss it. And so because I work with a whole lot of other people, they also need to
mm,
be comfortable with the fact that this is a business that is got Christ in the center. And
mm,
if we are starting meetings, we pray and
mm,
we share a bit of the word, and everyone should be able to bring in something and share something. And I am not forcing everyone to follow the God that I serve, but I am introducing that into the day-to-day operations so that every day, at least, instead of people coming together and the culture of salons mostly it's gossip, 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 gossip. Let's be constructive. Let's bring in God. Let's might not be talking about God, God, God per se, but let's have people, let's become people of integrity. Let's
mm,
live a life that is guided by values that would make us better people, and let the experience that the clients have reflect what we live by. Might not
sure.
necessarily be every single day we're talking God, 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 but let's embed God into everything that we do.
Mm. And how did you come to this decision? What are some of the things that have happened in your business where you said, no, listen, I need to have this faith part of my of mine in this business. Without
Mhm.
it, I feel like there would be something missing.
Yeah. Okay, so when Kutle Nails and Beauty started, I was alone and I
Mm,
was able to pray every single day. I was
mm,
able to seek God and invite Him in when I'm serving, when I'm dealing with clients, I'd be praying in my heart, and everything that I did was like the way that I wanted. And as I got more and more people in, I felt shy to say, guys, let's hold hands and pray every morning.
Mm,
I got shy to share the word with my team because I felt like if maybe they don't believe in the same God,
mm,
they're going to find me a weirdo if I start ministering the word
mm,
in a
mm.
meeting. Then let's start with a prayer or something like that. As time went on, I realized that the reason why I had God in the business was because I wanted to stay grounded and I wanted
Right.
to be guided. And
Mm,
the fruits of the Spirit are the fruits that will make a person the best version of themselves and represent
right.
God to other people. So when someone
Right.
experiences you, they can find God in just, you don't even need to preach to a person, but the way you treat them,
Mm,
how you kindly
mm,
them and
mm,
patient with them and
mm. That is the
self.
heart of customer service, even, huh?
Yeah,
Mm,
exactly.
mm,
And so now I've realized that I've lost the direction now because I am just going with the flow because I'm doing business the way that it whatever direction the business is taking me, and my team is also just not as grounded as I want them to, and they're creating a culture that I don't want. And the only way to uproot that is to go back to the basics and find a way to,
reintroduce that.
yes,
Mm, mm, mm. That
facing some
is
distance here and there, but I believe consistency will help.
okay. What are some mistakes that you have made in your business? We were talking about vulnerability,
Mm-hmm.
that we can learn from.
Funny that you asked that after me talking about God and service. So the first and biggest mistake that I made was, I would say, I'm labeling it, I wasn't a good steward of what God gave me.
Mm,
So instead of taking care of the business and being strict and I wanted to be very informal and kind and not put rules for people and make it feel
mm,
in jail. And
mm,
with clients, I wanted to be the best ever. So it meant me bending over backwards. And
mhm,
to some extent, it created a negative experience for the business because now we didn't have a standard operating time. We would be
mhm,
open up until the last client. So as long
mm.
as there's clients, we were
You're
open.
open.
And that alone meant that me and my team were so overworked, and that started
Mm,
quality. And
mm,
me being nice to my team and not wanting to be that strict person, it created a culture of people test boundaries and they
mm,
tested boundaries. And because
mm.
I went in with the heart, I'm like, oh, you're always late for work. Why are you always late? What's happening? Instead of just saying lateness is
Hey,
not allowed. And if
first
you're,
warning, second warning.
yes, like that.
Mm, mm,
And in the end, created a very dysfunctional team. And
mhm,
trust me, that takes a long time to fix. And also just not taking care of my numbers, trusting whatever figures that are coming in from wherever, and just, being that person that doesn't want to go and say to the person in charge of the desk to say, why is this like this? And trying to solve it in my own way without confronting, not having crucial conversations, not
crucial
go
conversations.
down.
Come
Hey,
on now. Hey, telling people like it is.
yeah. And
Business will teach you to be frank,
mm,
eh?
yeah. And you empty yourself so much that you have nothing to give. And
Right.
trying to be this nice person, but at what cost at the end of the day. So I got a really bad experience with that. And
with that.
in terms of pricing as well, because I was
Mm-hmm.
so passionate about making beauty accessible, I was not
Mm-hmm.
in my pricing.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, I didn't want to increase my prices because I was like, no, I promised people um, affordable beauty. I promised people affordable beauty. I was afraid to increase prices. And you know what? People associate price with quality. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
losing on the other end while I'm,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it also built a culture in within my team of saying that, well, if we're doing a set of nails for this price, then there's no need to make it special. We just do it
Mm-hmm.
anyhow. So
Mm-hmm.
in me holding on to my low prices, it
Mm-hmm.
really affected the growth of the business. I have
Mm-hmm.
made so many mistakes. I think I need to
Mm-hmm.
write off my mistakes.
Absolutely. You need to write a book of your story because it's super inspiring.
Yeah, but I've learned from them and I'm rebuilding and the journey is beautiful.
Okay. So you are a Black female entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm gonna add foreigner to that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of barriers did you have to break to get to where you are? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, what advice would you give to other Black female entrepreneurs or just other entrepreneurs who face different barriers in whatever they are looking to get in their entrepreneurship journey?
I'd say to start with, as a Black woman, it's still, as much as there's so many Black women in leadership and all of that, it's still kind of unheard of that you
Mm-hmm.
can be a leader, you can be in
Be a
charge of
CEO and in charge of 70 employees.
mm,
Mm,
and pursue growth. Like, who are you?
mm,
Stay at home, cook, take
mm.
babies, you know.
Right.
So people will doubt that you can do it.
Yeah.
People will doubt that you have it in you in the first place.
Sure. Sure.
Share your dream. Everybody will just look
Right.
and like, oh, okay. I remember people laughing at me when I was telling them what I wanted to build. And
Mm,
when you look back, it's like I could have listened to them and actually stopped myself um, from going ahead with the dream, and also lack of support.
mm,
As a woman and then Black woman and foreigner, it's very difficult to find support for your growth. Like in most cases, if you want funding, for example, that fact alone that you're a woman, you're Black, can hinder you from getting anyone to trust in your vision and actually put money in your hands in order for you to start your business. And also, just socially, women are not expected to be in business the way that I want to be in business. Women are not expected to be walking in boardrooms and making big decisions. It's left for men. So that makes it look like you're a weirdo to some extent. You become like the black sheep or white sheep, whatever, however people would want to look at it. Yeah. But the advice that I would have would be that if you have a dream, believe in yourself and believe
mm,
you have the capacity and the ability to do it. And
mm,
don't be shy to ask for help. And especially
mm,
if there's a woman that has made it that you look up
mm,
to, don't be shy to
mm,
approach them and say, hey, this is what I have in mind. I need
mm.
you to guide me and I need you to show me the ropes. Like, where can I go? Who can help me? It's amazing how you can struggle with something and then when you step into a network you find, oh my god, there's so much help for this, there's so much
Mm,
opportunity for
mm,
this and that.
mm,
So, yeah.
mm,
And
mm.
also the biggest thing is to stay disciplined and focused and be professional in everything that you do because
Discipline, focus, and professional.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take us a little bit into that discipline, focus, and professionalism. What do you mean?
So it's very easy for a person to come up with a business plan and start, but it's one thing to then build the character and be disciplined in how you operate, disciplined in how you handle money, disciplined in the relationships that you make, and also being professional in how you present yourself. It's being a woman, it's very easy for people to mistake what you're doing for something else and want to take advantage of your vulnerability. And so if you're not disciplined and focused, you find yourself
Being
going astray.
swayed into different
Mm-hmm.
directions that you really don't want to go to.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you mentioned something around your upbringing and that your parents are teachers, but your grandparents from both sides had businesses of their own, and it kind of ignited that
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship spark within you. You're a
Mm-hmm.
mother too.
Mm-hmm.
So now as you look into the future and you're thinking about the future of your kids, say you want them to be following that entrepreneurship route, what would you add to the experience that you had to help children come out in with that entrepreneurship vibe in them?
First and foremost, I'd let the children walk the journey with me. So
Mm,
show them exactly what running a
is
business
happening.
is.
Mm,
Share with them the highs and the lows and celebrate wins with them and
mm,
make it a habit to involve them in small decisions. Like, let's say,
mm,
choosing a color for the salon, I'll be like, okay, hey, what do you think about this color? Do you think the clients,
mm,
or just small decisions that are appropriate for them to be involved in so that they feel like they are part of this as it's growing. And if it
right.
them interested in the business, if they see, oh, my idea worked, oh, mommy did buy those colors that I asked to buy.
Mm,
And
mm,
also, it would be nice to ask them if there's a problem, to say, if you were facing this kind of a problem, how would you handle it? Just train them in a small way to use their creativity to come up with solutions, and also teach them to take on some responsibility in the business. So, hey, today we're going to clean the salon. You're in charge of making sure that the desks are all clean, or something like
mm,
business.
mm,
There must be a way of involving your children in it.
right.
And also, it's good to highlight the areas that you see that they are good at. Say, like, for instance, my daughter is a real creative. She's a mini graphic designer coming up. She loves to do marketing things for me. She'll do a poster and say, hey, mom, use this poster. She'll go to my social media and say, mom, looks like your social media is boring now. Please change this, change that. So it's
Mm,
and I have to always highlight that about her, and I see that it encourages her and keeps her working on my business actually, and keeps her interested.
right. 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 So get them involved, let them see the highs and lows, and let them be hands-on. And that way they grow that entrepreneurship desire in them. Okay. So there are many, many organizations out there who support entrepreneurship and
Mm-hmm.
who want to be involved in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. But some of them struggle to get into first Black owned enterprises and help them grow, or township businesses in general. So, what advice would you give to people that want to or are working in township businesses? What do they need to know that's different from businesses in other areas?
I'd say what stands out in townships is the community.
All right.
Um, Everything that people in the township, the business people in the township are doing really centers around the community.
Yeah.
And the community kind of shapes the direction the business takes. So
Mm-hmm.
one would have to understand what the customers do, what are their lives like, what shapes
Mm,
their passions, and what
mm,
their interests, what lifestyles do these people live by? What is
mm,
the thing that entices them like about your business. So for instance, I'm in Kailicha. The community there is an alive community. They really like to look good. They want to keep up with the trends, and there's just so much going on. There's events going around there. You would actually know that this weekend is, they call it weekend in Kudu, like it's a big weekend because something interesting is happening at one of the places, the hangout places. Then you'd know that that day is going to be a busy day. So we know we have to also make sure that we have enough hands on the floor for that. And it's also quite seasonal. So there's seasons where we know that, hey, we don't actually have to have off days like the normal off days. We must just cut our off days, maybe give each other one off day to accommodate the pressure because now it's definitely going to be busy. And as a township entrepreneur, you need to be flexible because there's just so many things that can change, and you should be able to accommodate those changes within the community because township businesses are so, I'd say, the heartbeat of your business is the people, and the
yeah.
people are connected. So
Mm,
you have to always make sure that you are giving them what they want and
mm,
they want without also moving away from your core business or your core systems and structures. And people in the township value relationships so much, and they
mm,
word of mouth more than anything else. And
mm,
so if you make people happy, then they talk about you. If you make people unhappy, they talk about you. People like to follow where the people that they know are going to. So
yeah.
you to make sure that you master that so that
Right. Right.
everyone talks about your business and shares how
Sure.
good your service
So if
is.
I'm an investor and or I'm a financier of businesses and I'm looking particularly in township business, what should I look out for? And what are some of the things that I should let go of in terms of how I think of township entrepreneurs?
One thing that I feel like people think is that there isn't great business opportunities in the township. And
Right.
so if you have a township-based business, it's difficult to convince a person that there is a market. But if you look at the population in the townships, it's really usually very densely populated. And that alone, if you look at the total market value, there's so many people. And
Mm,
most businesses thrive in the townships.
hmm
And people overlook that because they think that the people that live in townships are of a very low income and their buying behavior is somewhat, but most of them have money to spend. And there's also social pressure in the townships that keep people buying.
Spending. Yeah.
They spend, yes. And one other thing about township businesses that I feel people think is that there's no formal structures in townships, and people tend,
Mm,
if you run a business in the township, then it's an informal business.
mm,
The instances where people would ask me, what container am I looking out for? Not that I'm saying there's anything negative about
mm.
businesses that are being run in the containers, but that's just what people think
That's
that
what they expect.
small and it's run in a container. I still have people that ask me, assuming that I am the only person that is in the business because they think that township businesses are small. And yet there's so much potential for growth within the townships. If you come in to Kailicha, for instance, there is so much business going there and
Mm,
it's alive. And another thing that people think is the culture of business. There's no culture of business in the township. People are not honest. People are just doing fly by night kind of businesses, but they are solid
mm,
businesses. And the only thing that's missing is funding for some people.
mm,
Townships
mm.
so full of bright ideas that have a ready market already, and the only thing that's missing is funding and support
Wow.
for to grow. And it's
Wow.
not only about funding, it's also just about taking the hands of the entrepreneurs and leading them into the growth that they need in terms of mentorship. Some township businesses cannot afford like things like accounting packages, they can't afford CRMs, they can't afford maybe like proper marketing. And so if someone comes into Kaimicha today and they are like an organization that is supporting businesses and all they're offering is a service, they'll still have a lot of people to help. And for
Mm,
instance, if they say, come, let's create your logos alone, just for example, or create some marketing material for you alone, it will be amazing how a lot of people's businesses can be transformed.
yeah. And then in how and township businesses are educated, I think you were already getting into that. What's missing for that entrepreneur to now, you know, scale from where you were when you started to where you are now? What do you think is the missing link now?
What I feel is the missing link is lacking systems and structure. And in that, it's broad. Some people's businesses are sitting where they are just because they don't actually have a bank account, for instance. And some of them just don't have the right information on where to go in order for them to register their business. Some people don't know how to grow from where they are. And some people are limiting themselves mainly because they're afraid of growth. They feel like growth means that they're going to lose control. So I'd say mentorship the most is what is missing. And it will be life changing for a lot of entrepreneurs in the townships if they can really find mentors that get down to their level and pick them up from there.
Okay. Okay. Um, I wonder as the story of your business is becoming what it is becoming now. What are some powerful or great partnerships that you've formed over the years? Maybe good or maybe some that you've uh, done away with along the way, that have been meaningful to your business.
I've actually learned quite a lot in that regard, that partnerships are really powerful, and you tend to grow more if you are partnering with other people than when you are working by yourself. And there's more accountability. And I've been able to partner with a lot of people, especially within the Smulo Foundation network. There is partnerships where we have offered our services in exchange for a service with other people. For example, there's a business called Asha Media. We offer them our services, and then they did a lot of our graphic designs, our marketing material. And there's organizations where we would partner with them to offer our training. And as we do training with them, we build credibility for our business, because some of the people that you partner with help you to gain trust amongst other people. And we've got partnerships where we would offer services together with another business, say a business that is doing catering. They have an event, and then we are coming in and we are offering our beauty treatments at that event. And we've partnered with people that offer complimentary services with us to do projects where similarly it's an event and they are doing makeup and they need someone to do nails. So we've built quite a lot of partnerships, and some of them have led to our names being mentioned on really big tables where we can have bigger opportunities coming our way.
100%. So lovely to see that that kind of partnership happening. Um, I wonder whether you have any college or university partnerships that are forming, because surely this story needs to be told to inspire many other entrepreneurs so that they can get onto the journey that you are in. Is that something that's on the cards at all?
We are working to partner, not really a college, but an organization that has, it's a training organization. So we
Hmm.
can come in and offer beauty training. They already have
Sure,
brick making training and
sure,
pottery
sure,
training, and they have a few other trainings that are in the pipeline from their end, but we are coming in with the beauty side
sure, sure.
and the
And if
connection
you
built in the network of the collaborations.
and if you do that, maybe some of them will become your franchisees. Hey,
Mm-hmm,
fully trained
definitely.
by you. Now they go and run. Uh, okay. So I know you shared your vision the last time, but as we close, I'd really want to hear it again. I can't hear enough of it. But now I want it in different ways. I want the vision
Mm-hmm.
and the kind of support or this kind of needs that you have right now that will take you to the next phase of your business beyond this Cape Town domination that you're creating in your businesses.
Mm.
Hmm.
Okay, this is a question that I really love most of the times. So the vision is to grow the business and bring it to a point where Kutle Nails and Beauty is across all of Africa and becomes a hub of beauty and empowerment, making beauty accessible and creating employment opportunities, transforming communities. And the kind of support that we would need starts with the letter M, money, 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 money. To grow, you need money. And so, yeah, we're open to money. Do you have money for us?
Hey, I might not, but some of the listeners on this podcast definitely would be interested in
Yeah,
money
so
opportunities, money making opportunities that
yeah,
the Gutle Nails money making machine will help them to grow.
definitely. But above all, we need continued support and I mean mentorship, definitely, in growing a business that is multinational. I've since realized that it's a plate that is too big for me to handle, and it takes a lot to build such a business. And so right now, I am very much open to that kind of support in mentorship and guidance and how to build a business that is across all of Africa and how to build a team and processes that can sustain the vision.
Wow, that is beautiful. And I think that is where we end this podcast today. You've heard the vision. The business needs to get into the rest of Africa to give people the feeling of beauty and the look of beauty through Gutle nails. And I have no doubt that the same way you learned to serve a few customers to now having 70 employees, which means you are serving thousands and thousands of people in a day. is the same way that you would be able to grow what you have into a national brand and eventually into an international brand. And so we're looking forward to seeing how the scaling journey of Guhle Nails is going to work. And we're already learning a lot from this scaling journey. So thank you very much, Kudzai, for coming through. May the blessing that got you here take you to the next place.
Thank you so much. We're so looking forward to coming back to this podcast and share how we've partnered with the Scaling Up. Grant
Ah,
scaled us up. We're looking forward to that.
fantastic. We're looking forward to it too. Ladies and
Thank
gentlemen, this is it with Kudzai Mugwanda, who is the CEO of Guhle Nails, who has a wonderful story. This was interview two. You can go to the last one to get the full story of how she started. It really feels and it's like a movie. I was listening to the story, and now this one was just about the lessons. Thank you very much for coming through, and thank you very much for tuning in. Please like our channel and make sure you follow us for the next interviews that are coming. Thank you very much.